Hello everyone. Well, it's great to be here again on stage, 1 year again. And it's also great to be in the Things conference. I think it's the best LoRaWAN conference, although it's not longer just only LoRaWAN conference anymore. But so the topic for today for us is that we are basically gateway manufacturers, LoRaWAN gateway manufacturers, and we are rethinking the way LoRaWAN gateways should work via extensions. So let me introduce the topic with one question. Yeah, this one. So what happens after you power in a gateway? So basically, the gateway gets connected to the internet, might provision, starts receiving packages from your nodes, starts sending them, forwarding them to your network server, and everything works great forever and ever, right? No. So problems happen in every deployment. There's always something going on. And there's not only something going on while you're deploying the gateway, but along the lifetime of the gateway. So we keep on seeing the same problems over and over everywhere in the world. So in Africa, when LTE drops, someone has to drive 2 hours to reboot the gateway. That happens. There's no auto recovery, there's no remote fix, and that means a lot of cost efficiency. In Germany, someone wants to connect the gateway to their XYZ VPN kind of thing, which we don't support yet. In Japan, everything has to be LBT compliant, but LBT is not desired everywhere in the world because it creates friction. In Brazil, they ask us if they can monitor remotely the battery of a gateway. And everywhere, everyone has their own scripts to reboot everything when something fails. Everyone is doing it their way. There's no shared solution, and every workaround is different. So we keep on seeing these problems over and over. They are not isolated. They happen, and everyone is trying to figure out how to solve them. They represent common, recurring deployment challenges. LoRaWAN is open, but the gateways have been traditionally closed, like black boxes almost. They are bound to the firmware. They are reliant on SSH local protocols, and they are hard to scale. So we wanted to change that. And our approach is that for 11 years we've been building gateways, trusted by thousands of customers, deployed in hundreds of thousands of devices. And we say that our goal is to make IoT made easy. That's our baseline, our goal. But making IoT easy with only improving the hardware is not enough. What is enough? What is what our customers need? Our customers, we need to give them more control on the gateways, but at the same time, not enough control so they can break it. We need to make customization maintainable, so if they have their special gateway, they still have all these maintenance solutions available for them. We need to turn this one-size-fits-all solution into a fit-for-purpose solution for each deployment almost. And we want to create infrastructures that adapt, that survives in the field, not only in the lab. So extensions, WizGate OS extensions, is how we make it happen. So we are moving from the monolithic firmware to a block solution, from fixed functions, from firmware that has a fixed set of features, to a modular building blocks, from SSH access required for pretty much everything to WebUI and WizDM, which is our fleet management platform. From risky updates of the core, that anything can happen, to isolated decoupled updates of specific features without touching the core of the gateway. From one-size-fits-all, like I said, to on-demand installation, from rebuild and redeploy the whole thing, to only install, configure, and run that specific feature that specific customer needs. So basic idea with extensions is that we have a modular design. We can add or remove features based on the deployment needs. It's remote ready, so it's compatible with our fleet management solution. You can deploy everything, manage everything remotely. It's secure by default. All these extensions can be signed and verified, and it's decoupled from the firmware, so you don't have to deploy the full system every time you need to deploy some new feature, or you have to update some new feature. So the traditional approach to gateway management, to gateway feature management, includes something like, so you have a new firmware, you deploy everything, monolithic. This leads some pain points like bigger images that you have to sometimes move over the air, slower updates, and the tricky part that you cross your fingers to make sure that everything works. With the extension approach, you can ship the core with the gateway. You don't have to update the core except if there is some very critical update, security update on the core. Most of the time, you will be updating only the feature that you need to update. So instead of having, for each use case, a new firmware that fits that use case, this is a nightmare from the maintenance point of view, not only for the customer, but especially for us. Then we have this option to add or remove features depending on the customer. Instead of having field-specific logic using scripts, like I said, everyone is deploying their own scripts on the gateways, which is fragile with this known standard. We have these structured, testable modules that you can deploy and you can trust on them. So we are trying to avoid this one-size-fits-all builds. We are trying to ship leaner, more tested solutions, smaller. We are trying to make maintenance more streamlined. Everything should be maintained and everything should be easy to maintain and not a nightmare anymore. And we are trying to empower our own integrators by adding new modules that they can build themselves if they want to. This is just not easier like we want to, this is more scalable as well. So extensions will turn LoRaWAN gateways from fixed function devices into adapted platforms, adapted to the specific use case. And it's not only that we are building for the field, so these features, because we know what happens, it's because we know what happens that we can build these new extensions. So they are inspired by the field itself. So for when we ship gateways to Japan, Brazil, and the UA, and Europe, each with different RF rules and security expectations, we can, with the extensions, we can make compliance and connectivity configurable to all these places. With extensions, we can add logic for self-healing and maintenance of these gateways, which improves the reliability of the gateway on the edge. With extensions, we can add intelligence. We can turn the gateway into a field testing capable device, for instance. And we can also, of course, add some goodies for our integrators, like customize the look and feel of the firmware, customize the colors, customize the logo as well. But that we can do it with extensions as well. We can still ship the core, which is common to everyone, and the system integrators can make it look like their own product. So right now we have like already 10 extensions published on our website, and they are already installable from the gateways themselves. So you can go to the gateway, you can go to the extensions menu, you can check the extensions gallery, and you will see these extensions already available. They come from customization to connectivity to maintenance of the gateway. And there are a few more very interesting extensions coming up, like LoRa package, LoRa local storage. So the gateway will still maybe get disconnected, and we will have something to make it reconnect as fast as possible via an extension. But in the meantime, we might lose some packets. We don't want that to happen. So we will have a buffer that it can be relayed to the network server later. We will have a spectrum scanner, so you can actually see from the gateway, what is the gateway seeing in the spectrum, what is the noise around the gateway. We'll have some configuration for that decay, for instance. The new gateway mesh protocol we are working on, it will be an extension of the gateway, so you can deploy it in every single gateway that you have. You can make it a gateway mesh compatible gateway. We'll have some other goodies. Sleep mode, for instance, some of our gateways, we have a battery solution as well for completely autonomous gateways. But in some places with less sun, let's say, like in north of Europe, then the sleep mode will help these deployments where your gateway might only need to be reachable a few hours a day, and then it can sleep the rest of the day to save power. And of course, some other things, you can check the list. So basically, our gateways are becoming more than just a device. There's a transition by doing these developments from gateway as a device, where you have like logs, firmware, and you can reboot the device, this kind of stuff you do with any device, to a platform where you can deploy extensions, you can remote configure the gateway. There's a modular logic around running on the gateway, to something more infrastructure, where all these things running on the gateway become a network. And then you can have deployments, cross deployments using WISDM or fleet management solution. You can have observability of the whole network, not only gateway by gateway, but the whole network. Everything will be is working in this way. So, so we never just care about powering the gateway. We care about what happens next and what happens through all the lifetime of the gateway. And of course, you can, like I said before, you can build your own extensions. We provide an SDK, you can build them, you can deploy them on the gateway. We can help you sign these extensions if you want to ship them to your customers, or you want to make them available to everyone. We have not only an SDK, but a procedure you can follow to easily create these extensions for the WizGate OS too. So just to summarize, we are a hardware company. We manufacture hardware, but we are very well aware that we don't ship boxes. We deliver infrastructure, comprehensive infrastructure solutions. So we are moving from that only hardware shipping solution, shipping iron somewhere in the world, to make it that something really useful for the end customers. And we encourage you to help us build with us these kind of solutions, extend with us the extensions, available extensions in the gallery, and make IoT easier for everyone altogether. So, thank you very much. I think I'm too early, like always.